So we're gonna take a look at some of the week 1 PPC games of the second split. I haven't seen these games yet, but they were just played today, so. And I'm not gonna spoil the set, but interesting results, which I guess kind of spoils it. Which teams are these? So we'll talk about comps. Is it capital P? I don't actually know. I don't. It doesn't look right. We're not going to use capital P. All right. And 0, 0. So 2, 2, 1 is a thing. All right. So let's talk about how these comps want to work. So Snappin's comp is very dive. Like they don't win by conventional means, let's say, right? Like they have a solo tank ROM, so they want to be pushing in, and they don't necessarily want to be diving and killing things, but they want to be diving and making enough space so that like if they ever corral Flashpoint or ever take like control of both lava and quarry and are like contesting high, or maybe even just controlling lava and quarry, then that should be enough for them to make something happen. Because at that point, if they have control of both, then Dosup's on the Inara on point isn't going to be having a good time because he's going to be surrounded and he's not going to have anywhere to back up to. So he has to like leave super early. And then it's just a matter of who can like adapt to someone taking back space. Then it's probably going to be Flashpoint like regrouping, dealing with the dive, and then trying to like you got to force out somewhere if you lose a lot of space. Flashpoint's draft is like the complete opposite. They just want to sit there, and by there I mean Anar on cap, Domba Leon on high, and then okay, so like the Atlas and the Mave, you can kind of change it up. Like that's your more flexible part, and I think they should change it up. It kind of just depends on what Snappin does. So first round, you're probably going to end up sending both of them lava. Like, if you wanted another option, you could have the Atlas play lava and the Mave play quarry, which would be interesting. It just sort of depends, like, how you want to play it, right? Like, you have options of those two, and you want them meeting the ROM, because if they meet the ROM, there's like an offlane battle going on, then that means that your Nara should be fine to stand on cap as long as you don't lose too much map control. So that's basically how this one goes. Snappin wants to take a lot of map control, and Flashpoint just kind of wants to sit there and hold it.
Game time, baby.
So let's see how this goes. So that's a pretty standard rollout. That's really aggressive from Fisheko. Hold up, is he main roster? We're gonna check this real quick, because I have the rosters. Okay, I got rid of the Corvus noise. I got the ROM noise in the background. Fisheko is main roster. That's interesting. Okay, so he's gonna make a play that like I disagree with. Like he's gonna end up. Oh, he dropped. Okay. So like that's a really aggressive play there. Like you can kind of see Stigma's just like, all right, cool. Like he's fine with this. Like that's a good play if your team is making space because it's like it's aggressive. But if like he had no space to work with, he kind of just pushed up. Like if you look at what Stigmas could see, there's like an Anar wall and then a Leon, and that's like his two viable. That's like the only thing he could shoot. So yeah, of course he's gonna shoot Leon, and Leon gets forced out. So now we're talking about space, right? So I'm not quite sure what Dosups is doing, but you can see that over on the left side, it's working out really well for Flashpoint. They're holding space. Like, this is fine. It's only been like 15 seconds, but already it's like fine. And then you have Evil Eye over here in Corey, and he's going to be trying to be a bit cheeky, right? Because, like, if he gets to... I wish there was a way to, like, speed up in Spectator. If he gets to this position, then holding outside of lava becomes very difficult. So at that point, Flashpoint either wants to send someone to deal with him, or they want to push out lava. So that's what he's trying to do. He's just trying to take space, because Snappin can only hold so effectively in so many places, because they triple DPS is always gonna have someone somewhere. So. But yeah, the reason I don't like, back to Fisheko's play, the reason I don't like it is because it's unnecessary and gives up space. Like, if your Leon is there, she controls Corey, but she also doesn't have the option of getting back up top. So if you're still on high ground, first of all, you whiff your Damba. Vex dropped, but I mean that's fine. There's really no difference. But the backline kind of split up, so that's risky, right? Like there's no reason for them to be doing this. Joseph goes like this. This is fine, right? Like Joseph going to fight Evil Eye. If they had done that with Fisheko, maybe that probably ends better. Like, Flashpoint hasn't gotten much cap, probably because they are scared of Evil Eye like doing things. So Rubu goes too far, I guess. Yeah, there you go. That's Flashpoint just not letting Evil Eye take space. I didn't actually see the kill, but like I can kind of guess what happened, right? Like they both pushed him at the same time and won the 2v1. Like that's a really good play, right? It was just kind of unfortunate that Rubu got picked. And Sheko dies. Honestly, like Vex probably should have dropped there, but like once you get that pick, then it's like okay, back to normal things. So this is gonna be a soft zone for sure from Snappin because, well, first of all, 30% is usually the benchmark. They started capping at like 21, 24. So Bones is kind of he's like you can already see is like hiding, like he's doing his best to like hide, like he's playing off to the side, just so he can like LOS things quicker if he needs to. But also because it's really difficult for Snappin's comp to like actually cap. If they send Rom to point ever, he's worse than Ara, and then they also don't have the pressure to make the space that they want. So Flashpoint needs to like push out a lane here just to get some space back. If Sheko drops again, Sheko dies. I mean that's kind of unfortunate. And now it's like a 5v4. Hey look, there's space. There's space. I mean that's just because you lost one, right? But, like you gotta see like how much map control Flashpoint had. So. Like realistically, like if you look where that fight took place, it was like over here, which like isn't great. For Snappin, because I mean it's maybe it's fine. Either way, like it's risky because if you get caught out, you probably just lose. All right. If you're Flashpoint here, you probably just want to like spam 3-4 ults and then go for full hold. I mean, Rubu died late. I didn't really see that, but so the cart's actually moved past. Okay, we're just gonna. Okay, yeah. I don't want stuff on screen. So like this choke here is like a pain, and because Rubu died late, like they get through it for free, and that's actually huge because like this first choke sucks. Like it's really annoying. So because like if you control this high ground, like what's the other team gonna have to do? They have to cross this entire open ground to get to you, and even if they do get into lower house or gold or whatever you want to call it, there's one way out of it. So it's really difficult to, because there's effectively 2 choke points unless you can get like a whole bunch of people to high, which Snappin can't really.
Alright, they getting hot, Alright, they getting hot. Enemy
what happened there? I mean, okay. So you want to talk about space? 4v2 and 3v1. So this is ROM things, right? This is just ROM things. So, like, yeah, you could probably say Sheko did whatever, but like at the same time, they're not dealing with this ROM very well. Like they might kill him, whatever. But like, he's doing his job, and like Rubu's 100% dead. He has no cooldowns. Unless, I mean, I have wall. I don't think he has wall, but like there's not even a.
All right, they're getting hot. They're
I
getting
mean,
hot.
but not gets
Dub,
out.
look out.
They're not pushing though, which is awkward, but that's fine. Because you get to the last choke anyways. They let him contest Reed. So it's, I mean, that was just ROM. Like, he made a lot of space, and Flashpoint didn't really deal with it well. Like, if you are going to deal with that well, you either have, like, if he's making that space, you either don't take this 2v4 that's going on, and you just kill the 1, right? You let your, it's going to take a while, because it's ROM, and he's dumb. But, like, you have fear if he tries to dash. Like, you have a minute 40 left. Like, you can easily commit an ult there and build it back. And then, if you win that fight, then you can maybe even get up to this choke. And again, this choke sucks. So, or alternatively, you can ignore the ROM, say, okay, he's back here, whatever, and then try to take like a 5v4 or something up here. Which I mean, it depends on your comp. I think I like playing slow and dealing with the ROM with Domba ult, because you have big shield. You have like, if they do try to push the 2 players of Flashpoint, then like that's fine. Like, because Fishako, like, he wasted ult that fight, right? Because he got caught out or whatever. But like, pushing into a Leon with Enlightenment, supported by an Atlas with big shield, with his cooldowns up, like, they could have played that slow really easily. No, this is where Snap's comp sucks, because what space are you gonna take? Like, yeah, they're really split up here, which is like really good. But at the same time, it means that like Flashpoint should just be able to effectively like set up what they want to do, right? Like, if they just want to hold a spot, like, cool, like, let's send people out this side and let's control this side of the map, and then it's even, and that favors us because we have 2 tanks, and yeah, it's a good shield. I mean, they are kind of corralled here, but I'm not sure what you do about it. Like, you want to push out somewhere, right? But, like, Andrew's tough to push out. And then, I mean, Victor and Cassie are in the same lane, which is a bit awkward. Like, not having a DPS in main is just kind of weird. Like, Flashpoint have to push something just to get control, and I don't really think it matters what it is, but I'd definitely be using an ult here, which, so. Sheko drops for some reason. I mean, like, Rubu died, yeah, but like, he also died because he was getting cross-angled by 2 DDs over on that side. So I don't know what T-Mac the Mave was doing that fight. I didn't really pay attention, but if he's either pushing with the Atlas, or if he's contesting the DPS a bit more, maybe maybe Fisheko and Dosups, or Fisheko or Dosups and T-Mac can like make a play. Like, you had an Nara ult there. If you send a Nara ult over onto the left with Mave diving that, like, you can probably get a kill, and then Mave can contest that, get pocketed by Domba, all that good stuff, and then you have control over his side. Rubu doesn't get cross-angled. Like, Flashpoint needed to take space somewhere. Oh, mid. Alright, so we have ults now. Sort of. How much Rezo do Rezo 2s already, and Caught 2s? Rezo changes. Could they have bought Rezo? No. No, they couldn't have bought Rezo 2 if it was his last patch. That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyhow, so Snap and have Corvus ult, and that's not really an ult you can make a plan around. Like, you probably assume they have Midnight. I'm not really sure. Like, Evil Eye's probably tracking Midnight, so he'll probably know better than, like, I don't remember the last time they used Mave ult, so. Like, point is, you can use Corvus ult to, like, help against a Mave dive. If that's something, you could try to ult the Inara early, and then she backs off, and that gives you some more space to work with, which is what you want. So, like, there's not really a great option for Corvus ult if you wanted to get spicy, you could like TP up here and like ult this area, and just try to force out the Atlas and Maeve again. So that's something you could potentially look to do. If you were to change anything up, I think Evil Eye needs to be more aware, I guess, when Leon drops, because that means he has to play a lot more careful. And then I guess Stigma and Bones need to call when Leon drops a bit louder, maybe? Just some sort of... something so that he doesn't get caught out in Corey again. And then Flashpoint, like... that was... like, they just need to collapse on when snap and push. Basically, they're playing super reactive this game. But when they collapse, that's definitely going to be, like, use ults time. Like, you have full comeback mechanic, you have 2 ults, like, use them quick. So going Corey instead, I don't like, unless they, like, the same thing still applies here, right? Like space. The reason Corey comps don't tend to work out for a lot of teams is because they go like, yes, we're playing a Corey comp with, like, you know, a comp that just wants to sit under here and burn point, and they've taken our high ground, they have their high ground, they have point, they have lava, they have control of everywhere except for Corey. Let's just stay in here and we'll huddle up, turtle up, boys. You know, get the Roman formations out for the glory of Rome. And then they get surrounded and die. So, because like if you get surrounded, it's very difficult. Like you have to be really coordinated and no one has to get caught out. Because if you get surrounded again, you have to like force somewhere out just so you have space. Like so much about this game is space. Like not even this particular match, but just like Paladins as a whole. So basically, if Flashpoint stay in Corey and just stay in Corey, like only stay in Corey, they're going to lose unless they can like kill a person with each of their like CC ults. Then like cool, you won because you had ults. Which like is 100% valid, but it's not going to work next round because Rizal freeze. So what I'd like to see Flashpoint do, push out with Corey basically. Like if you're gonna go there, that's fine, but just don't give up space. If they're going all the way around, you can have Sheko get dismounts, and then you can have him and Vex play together. If they go in, then Vex fears. You have T-Mac and Rubu sort of like pushing out around and maybe taking high ground, maybe pushing around here so that these people have to rotate and then you're keeping space. And that's what you want to do. You just keep space, so they look like they want to do it. Okay, I was gonna say that was gonna be a really nice Corv assault, but then he didn't do what I think what I thought he was gonna do. So what I thought was gonna happen, first of all, the fact that Woodknock and Reincarnated aren't together here is kind of rough. Like Woodknock is kind of just being, yes, hello, I am worse Anara. But what I thought that Bones was gonna do, I thought he was gonna ult right here, and that way Flashpoint can't push out and take space. They have to go the entire other way. So what I thought they were going to do is I thought they were going to Corv Assault, and then they were all going to drop and pinch. Which, like, that's what you want to do against Corey Clumps. You all want to drop at the same time. Like, you know how in, like, Valorant and CSGO, they all, like, swing or peek at, like, the same time? That's effectively, that's what the thing you want to do. And dives as well. So, like, it's not a exclusively low TTK shooter thing, so that's what I thought he was gonna do. I don't like the Corv Assault. I mean, the Corv Assault like does the same thing, like it prevents them from taking space here, but like at the same time, what does the space do? Like it's cap, but like it doesn't actually do anything for winning the fight. The other interesting thing is that T-Mac is looking at point and Fisheko is playing with Rubu. Usually it'd be the other way around, or T-Mac playing with Vex, I guess. They're like, ah, no, there's an Andro behind. And that's an unfortunate miss. So, like, you see, that's like, that's just a miscommunication there, from Snappin'. Like, Woodknock is like in the middle of 5 people, And Stigma's just kind of he's chilling, dude. He's he's doing his own thing up here. Bones isn't even peeking. So if because like it's a ROM, right? Like they probably put a lot of damage into him. If they're shooting Rubu while that happens, then like that's really good, right? It's just they effectively dove with one person, and like yes, that is gonna work very well. Evil Eye decides to be the one to go in, but I mean he trades for it. She should have died. I think I'm not really sure where the damage from. Okay, so like that was scuffed, but like that's the general idea, right? Like you want to drop and surround. It was just like no one was together. Like Rubu was by himself, and then Evil Eye was by himself, and like going together is very cool. I don't know about that ult from Sheko. Like even if you got it off, like you have a retake here. Snapping of ults now, that's cool. And I guess T-Mac must have known that Evil Eye didn't have ult to pop Maeve ult early that fight. Alright, so that's potentially rough. Space. We want to talk about space again. So ooh, that's unlucky. Oh, that was a Victor ult too. So like this is good for snapping, right? Like you have the ROM contesting here. I don't like the micro position. I think you want to be contesting up here instead of down here, because this like doesn't really control any important space. Like Bones is fine, he'll just knife out. But Reincarnated being on the high ground is really good. Like he's about to get the drop on Vex, especially because Fisheko died. Like that was just a nice individual play from Stigma. So, and now presenting space. Okay, Evil Eye decides. Okay, I don't know what happened there. He kind of just was like, yes, I'm shooting point. Wait, just kidding. They're like all pushing Corey. I don't know how he didn't notice, but it happens. And then yeah, it's like a sort of collapse, right? Like how are they gonna deal with Reincarnated? They can't, because like they also have like 3 other things to deal with, right? So you need to make it like one thing to deal with. Like this is 100% winnable for Flashpoint. They didn't get outdrafted, I don't think. Like the comp falls off harder because of Reasel, especially with now with Reasel. But I still like the comp. Snappin's doing a really good job of taking high ground super early. Drop these in ults. I'm gonna have X dead. I think it's to get shattered. Die Kurt, friends. And yeah, you lost 2 people. I guess just gonna snowball. They just run over you. You can probably get 2 fights. No. Alright, so same thing, this choke point. Something interesting that I'm noticing from Snappin is that they have like a well, not completely different rollout, but like Evil Eye and Stigma are in different spots, which is either showing me that they have either a great in-game leader who's like, all right, we're gonna change it up for this final push, boys, and he's like talking while the card's going through here, and then he's like, all right, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna, or they're just going into it with nothing. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing, and it just happened to work out last time because they're good players. And I think it's the latter, but like this is good, right? Like this is really good from Dosups. They just decided, hey, you know what? I'm an off tank now. He doesn't have a DPS with him. That sucks. That's not great. Where? T-Mac is making space, that's cool. But at the same time, things would be dead if he was playing with Dosups. Pushing out past the choke, I don't know how I feel about. Like, I feel like you can just say, alright, cool, we have control of this area up here, and I think I'm fine with tank switching if the ROM can survive. Maybe just like hold the right side instead of holding directly on cap, but is C-Mac still alive? Yeah, that's I don't know, man. And now they're in a weird spot, right? Because like, okay, Rubu went to cap, Dosups pushed the offlane, T-Mac went to the back line, and now it's like Rubu's holding right, and Dosups is like, I'm an R on cap, and Fisheko's like, where'd my tank go? And Vex is like, wait guys, I thought we were pushing out. Like, I don't know where the coordination is and like what the idea behind that fight was or what T-Mac was trying to achieve or anything because like I there's no way to tell what they were trying to do by their play. Snapping is like when the other team is like just dropping their pasta, it's sort of just like punishing one person. So like yeah, T-Mac just ran into your backline using 4 cooldowns. Like yeah, sure, go kill him. And then turn and kill the other few. Oh wait, Rib was killable on point. Alice. You know, like you can as long as your position isn't Garbo and you hold the same, like you hold the good general positions, then like you're fine. And like these are good general positions, right? Like it's fine. Leonel would be cool if it hit. That'd be interesting. Alright. I'm gonna pause it right before it goes in. Stats, very cool. And then KDs. Whoa, reincarnated Stigma and Bones didn't die. That's interesting. Okay. So, space is a thing. I'm gonna pause the recording and go to the next game because I don't want to. Like, I don't know. That game is just like a misunderstanding of how. Like, okay, it's weird, right? Like, everyone goes and assumes that the PPL players or former PPL players or whatever are like super good, and they're like by far and away like just the best. But then they play like that, and I don't know. Like I, I don't know that like that wasn't good. I mean I don't know. It scares me. I mean to be fair, like this isn't like they don't care. They don't care. So it's hard to say how much like they play the game. Like they're I'm not gonna say washed, but like it's just weird because like you look back at old PPL VODs and it's like, oh yes, this is good Paladins. And you watch this and it's like, yes, it's my gold placement games. Um, not really, but like, you know, it's just strange to me. And then you watch like Snappin, who I guess cares a bit, and 7 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's just interesting. All right, Jag Falls. So Jag Falls is a map where like um a lot of it is teamwork and synergy and rotation. So you get to see a lot of the time who the better team is on Jag Falls, assuming teams are like good at the map and actually play it. Some teams don't, and then it's like, well, it's not really great. But like if both teams play Jag Falls, then Jag Falls is I feel like is a really good indicator of how good of a team you have. Anyhow, drafts. So this is almost the same, except it's not. It's a bit different, right? So it's Flashpoint who needs to be taking space this time. So you have like a BK, right? Which means you kind of want to play in dark or in rooms, but at the same time you don't really burn point better just because they have an R, and then they also have Willow, which cool. She has a niche. So you can't really just play slow with your Flashpoint. And if you're against triple DPS like you are, then you want your offline to be making a heck of a lot of space. So that's going to be either Ashe Cassie or Ashe BK, and I'm not really sure which one you want. Because if you're the BK and like you're pushing with the Ashe and you get around this corner, all of a sudden this is like a really long sight line. Like not long, right? But you'd rather have a Cassie here than a BK, so I expect the Cassie to be following the Ashe around this game. And then if you're snapping, it's different. You still want to play around point, but you want to play around point a bit differently. Like you don't just want to hold space because you can't just hold space. Otherwise, the Ashe Cassie or the Ashe Beat, whatever Flashpoint ends up doing. Otherwise, Flashpoint's offlane is just going to run you over because that is what an offlane does against triple DPS. Tanks take space, especially Ashe. I just realized there's no console players in this game. That's a breath of fresh air. So yeah, you have to rotate if you're snapping. So that's gonna look like, you're probably gonna spread out a lot at the beginning because you triple DPS. Have the Andro play solo Jag maybe, or go around Sun or something. Willow goes probably main, and then I don't know where you put the Victor. You could have the Victor dismount and Jag, and then just like run away. So if you're Flashpoint, you always want your backline just running away from their offline. Like you want to rotate, and it's kind of whoever gets caught out first. Like this is gonna be a lot of people moving around together. It's like it's kind of hard to explain. But do I have Epic Pen? Will Epic Pen work? Hold up. Okay, I have it. All right. So, you guys see this? If I draw, you cannot. That's unfortunate. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of rotations. So let's see how this plays out.
All right, y'all, it's game time.
So that's interesting. You can kind of see like the general idea that both teams are going for. So the Ashe and Cassie are playing together. That's pretty cool. Like you can see what both teams are going for, right? Like you have the Fury, Willow, Ashe, and main. That's just gonna burn point better. That's your win condition. That's what you're playing all around. Sigma's already running. Like he's hello. He's booking it, right? He's out. He's like, okay, there's their offlane. I'm scared. Also, that's interesting. But he's you're already scared. He's running, and then you'd have your Andro push around. These people would keep running, and you just wrap, and you'd continue the merry-go-round until you cap, right? Or until like you want to actually make an aggressive play, because like Snap and definitely have really good tools for aggressive plays. Like you'd have the Inara rotate off point and just like catch them, like meet their offlane, and all. Yeah, you're getting up cap time, but all of a sudden you actually have an off tank for once you can contest that, and then you have really good ults. If you're game crash, very cool. All right. Let me get back in game. All right, we're loading back in. Where was I? What was I talking about? Okay. I think I was talking about what snapping we're gonna do. That we're gonna like have the Victor rotate, and then so let's talk about Flashpoint's rollout because I think that's more interesting. Because it's different. It's not what I'd expected. But it makes sense. It makes sense. So I was like here-ish. Okay, so you can kind of see what they're going for. You got this offlane, and these three people, like you can kind of see like what these teams know what they're playing off of, right? Like the lane that has three people is each team's win condition, right? You got main, and you got the offlane, and each team is gonna like play off that. So okay. So normally what would happen here, right? These people would push, these people would rotate, and they'd get that merry-go-round going. The interesting thing is that you have the BK here, and the BK is going to anchor a lane, which means hold it super passively, and they're essentially going to say like, okay, yeah, we're going to push you out here, and you're going to try to leave, and then you're going to try to leave through a BK. I think that's smart. If you really wanted to commit to this, you could send the Barrack with him. I think that'd be cool, because then you effectively have like two offlanes, and then you like pinch from both sides, and then they have to like back all the way up, which that's a lot of space. It gives up cap, but like, and then if the main tank doesn't react in time, then you can catch the main tank out, because all of a sudden you've pushed out both lanes, which I think would be cool. because I'm not really seeing what Barrack does here. He just kind of stalls. So, the only issue though is that T-Mac is, or yeah, T-Mac's the BK. He's not in a good spot for a BK. Like it's good on a macro level, like it makes sense, but at the same time, like what's stopping him from just like dying to Furia Andro, right? Or an R walking at him or something. So like they're both gonna have to play this very well. Where's Cassie? Cassie is in dark. Okay, so right away, these two are supposed to be playing together. So that's a mistake. Like, how much does Cassie Blast Shot do? About this much. So, I like the Blast Shot combo. So that's cool. You can kind of see they're Vex and Vex and who's this? Sheko have like both turned. Rubu's like, wait, guys, where'd you go? To be fair, he dashed, and which like you're gonna be by yourself. But also look at how much space he's making. So, like ideally, if you have the Cassie here, these people are dead. But instead, he's by himself in feeds. So that sucks. That's unlucky. Like yes, that was Rubu feeding, but like realistically, it's not his mistake. Like I'd pin that more on Sheko than anything. So now it's like okay, we get to talking about space again. And like sure, Willow's kind of gone to a weird spot and he dies. But here's the risky part about having the BK over there, by the way. He's losing a 1v1. Might lose a 2v2. It's not really a 2v2, like 2 1v1s. It was a good trade for snapping, though. It's super scrappy. Okay, so like, I don't know, Rubu's kind of going in by himself, and it's costing him a lot of everything. It cost him all of his cooldowns and most of his health. And now, like, it's gonna cost Vex's cooldowns too, and everyone's low. Just go in at the same time, please. And also, if nobody meets the BK and they just try to like push this out, then the BK can push up, and like that's not great. But that's also the way you can put the Barrack with him. So talking about space again, this is really good from Snappin'. It's a bit awkward with a Furia, like you'd much rather have a Corvus or maybe a Genos here. Genos he'd play a bit differently, but Corvus, like you could just effectively like swap that in for Furia and play the exact same. Like they're just trying to surround dark. Like Flashpoint has defaulted to we have BK, we huddle in dark. And I mean, you can do that, but I don't really think you want to, because if you do that, then at triple DPS, they're going to take a lot of angles. Super good rotation by Stigma. And then Evil Eye, like, you're still, like it's going to be one person in each of the side lanes, and then 3 people in main, and you're just going to get surrounded again in space. You see how the Space Fiend keeps coming back. Also, did he start morale on Furia? He did not. He's just fragging. But they're all those, so they're gonna soft reset. Okay, well he's not technically one Kashi shot away, but you know, it's like, or yeah, I don't know my. There we go. There's the Ash. I don't know my bindings by heart, so Stigma's gonna get caught out. Man's actually playing Cardio Victor. Like, hey, that's really good. That's a really good rotation from Dosubs. Dosubs is playing really well. And like, if Stigma makes that play, then like, I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't know. Ideally, you want the Andy there, right? Like, that's why you want the Andy there and on the Victor on the other side. But like, whatever. It's not a huge deal. I'm sure Stigma could have like played it better and lived. Furia Willowalt is killing things. That's pretty cool. That's massive, but like they're down 2 people, so. They bought enough space though
Slash that payload.
on the sidelines,
Get after him.
and then good ultimates, very cool. Like honestly, that point goes so much different if Fasheko and Rubu like actually play together. So, it's good Victor ult, I'd say. If he gets a pick there, it breaks a choke for free, and then you use like Victor ult to break a choke, and that's pretty cool. That's good.
All right, they're getting hot. They're getting hot.
I mean, they die, I guess. I don't know. Like, if it's a 4v4 and you use ults, that gives you an advantage. So, wait, did I just hear him ult twice? Oh, did he not land the first time? That's interesting. You know, Stigma might actually be on controller. I'm not sure. Okay. What choke are we holding? And like, I don't know. Okay, so that was like, okay, that was weird. Like, I like the idea there, right? So Stigma just Fasheko just died, but someone else died on. You traded to Evil Eye. Then they try to push out, and then they're like, do we want to push out though? Do we really want to push out? So like, they gave Victor this space and then fought in the space that he was controlling. So like, if they fully commit to, okay, we're gonna collapse on this place, we're gonna collapse outside a secret, then Victor is like, he has to rotate, and it's just, it works out better. Or you could just set up normally, like, I don't know, you put BK in secret, like you have Cassie and Ashe over here, or BK here. I don't know, it kind of depends. I think you'd want the, I don't know, maybe the Cassie in secret because that duels the Ancho better. I don't know DPS matchups. That's what I have DPS players for. So, I mean, they didn't really get set up on one of the better chokes, right? Again, there's like 3 main ways that snapping can get in, and it's like difficult because you have to force a lane out with triple DPS, which means you're not contesting like a lot of space, and it's hard. Again, space. That's okay. Stigma friend, why are you why are you committing ult past the when it goes in? Okay. So aside from that, I think he got walled. I don't know. I didn't see, but like it doesn't really matter. He dies anyways to Victor ult, so like that, you know, whatever. I guess Kraut rolled a bit too much for free. Like ideally, again, you want to see like something following the Ashe, and then the other DPS like playing either slow or the other lane. I didn't really see that. Like it's just scuffed from Flashpoint. Like it's really just not clean. Like Snap and actually look like they know what they want to do to a point. Alts Flashpoint have Cassie Barrack. I mean, it's like it's same thing. It's same thing but with alts, and like that's dumb. But at the same time, like how both teams win doesn't change. Like if you're snapping, you can change it around. You can say, all right, we actually want to win the offlane. Joke's on you. And then you can send your offlane there. You can still have, you can like just switch it up and say, all right, free a wall. What are you gonna do about it? That's a cool play, and it's aggressive. You have points to work with. You can go for like high risk stuff. Wait, where's? Okay. Wait, is he seriously holding there? Or did he like accidentally where is he going? Okay, so ignoring Stigma, just like yes. Excellent. What is he? I mean, like if you're trying to catch them out when they rotate this way, cool. But also they just go like, hey, Victor's doing nothing, and then they like leave your tiny LOS, and then you're out of the fight again. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it'll work in like 10 seconds and I'm dumb. But now we get to see like how well the wait, where's the barrack? Oh, he's in dark. Okay, never mind. We're good. Yeah, so same thing from Flashpoint. They're just more together. So this is good. This is really question. I have several questions. But space, right? Like if you were to divide this map into like a tic-tac-toe board, Flashpoint controls 5 of the tic-tac-toe board, and Snap and control 4 of the tic-tac-toe board, if you know what I mean. Like if you draw a line this way and a line this, like line this way, and a line this, and two line, like a line here, a line here, line here, and like a line at the other bridge, and like that's a good way to usually look at map control. And Flashpoint have more squares, and they also have the squares that like are more spread out, so that's good. I mean, like imagine if Ashall, like imagine if Rubu had Ashall, they win, you know. So at this point, Flashpoint are like, ooh, this is what we want, and then T-Mac's gonna like ideally these people all just push at the same time, and they take snapping and then they go crunch, right? And these people just die. Because there's like tanks pushing them, they're getting collapsed on, they all just die. If you're snapping, you have a few options. You can sit, you effectively have to just like, you have to make more space. You have to get some of those tic-tac-toe boards back. And you have the tools to do that, right? Like you have 2 ults right now. You have 2 ults and 4% each. But like if you just hit Fury or Willow and go, all right, we're gonna kill these people, and then we're gonna take back this area. That's good. And yeah, I mean, Flashpoint's plan doesn't change. Like you still try to collapse on these people, especially since I don't know if they know that T-Mac's there. Like no one's turned, and even if they do turn, then like these people, like it's a pincer. So the Snap have to do something. Flashpoint decide, you know, I actually don't want to push. I don't want to go in. Vex had fear. Like, if he follows his offline there, that's a 4-man fear. I mean, Woodknock was on point when he would have seen them, but like, they just die. Like, yeah, well, it's scary, but like, if you're trading, like, that's fine. I mean, it's not great, but like, if you, especially since they're all there, like, you can probably trade so much better than they can. And T-Mac walked in front of his tank there. Like, I don't want to like point out too many individual things, but T-Mac walked in front of his tank and died for it. That wasn't good from Snap. Oh, okay, that was fine from Snap. And like the Fury Willow was good. The Fury Willow was a bit late, but like that was more so just like Flashpoint just kind of weren't on the same page. I don't know where that. Oh, that fear kills Andrew. And then okay, so like Snap decided, yes, we gotta kill boys. We must run down main. And then Vex was like, wait, no, you can't. So that was a lot of spaghetti being dropped. Flashpoint didn't go in, and then they did, but they did it weird. And then Snappin' just messed up how they actually wanted to take that fight. So now you have like perfect setup from Flashpoint. Super tough to push in anywhere. And full comeback. Yeah, like it worked out. It might have been a lot cleaner. I mean, Snappin' definitely could have like, I don't know. I think Fury Willow is like the key to for this game. Like I think if Flashpoint have like, I was gonna say something like a Leon. Would Leon be better? Maybe. Sigma's got a nice off angle. That is large. Imagine using ults. Oh, reincarnated. No. That's 3 people. Sigma kills Dosups though, and like this is fine. This is just such a garbage fight. Hold up, I'm being messaged on Steam. Sorry if you guys can hear that.
Alright, they're getting hot,
Okay, that should be the end of messages. What's happening? Snappin' won that fight? something something coordination between the offlane something something. They're holding in a really weird spot though. It's what's happening? This is chaos. Please no chaos. Like it's the same. It's literally the same as the mids. Flashpoint want to push out a lane. Snap and want to rotate and like stay away. Big spooky Ash. Reincarnate gets into the backline, so that's not good. Well, basically he got into the backline before Ash got into Snappen's backline, and now we're full holding. Like like you could analyze this a bit more, but like realistically, Snappen don't even care that if they lose this fight. They're just up here. They're having a good time. They're just wasting time. Like yeah, would not go like goes and feeds and whatever, but so when you're full holding, what you want to do is you want to call somewhere to hold. Like, you can see some people were like, all right, let's hold this wall. Let's hold this is the line we're going to hold. And Woodnock was like, no, we're going to hold this line. And then Woodnock kind of backed up and was like, oh, wait, my team isn't with me. And then they got low, and then they're all backing up. And they're all they all just end up in main because, no, I would bet money, no one said, all right, boys, here's where we are holding. So that's a simple fix and a mistake that doesn't matter too much on full holds. But Fasheko gets Victor ulted, so it's probably not going to end up mattering. Vex is dead. Yeah. Okay, if you're Flashpoint, yeah, the same thing. Just throw together an offlane, throw together a main lane, pick 2 lanes to go, and go. Rip Stigma. I guarantee those just snapping like looking for alt charge and or kills. If you're Flashpoint, I think the adaptation you make is go the other way this time. It's a lot easier to get to them through Sun than it is to get to them through Jag, I think. And if you could set up like, you can't anchor as well, but like you also have Cassie ults, like Cassie could hold Jag in mid and sort of like watch the Victor. No, you don't have to take the duel with the Victor. You could just sort of like wait for him to peek, and then if he does peek, then you take the fight with him, like, and just sort of shoot point or, you know, whatever. I don't know. Do DPS things like that. You just, this is what I know about DPS, by the way. It's like, all right, this is what they do, and I have no idea how they do it, but I know this is their role, and their role is to anchor this lane. Go anchor this lane, DPS, and then they're like, yes, fish, and then they go do it, and I'm like, yes, good job. But I have no idea how they do it. Well, I have some idea how they do it, but I have very little idea how they do it. The adaptation from... Oh, hey. Whoa. Look at that. That's cool. This might be a read from Snappen. If this is a read, I love this. The only thing I don't like is that no one's getting dismounts and that Bones is already dismounted and is going to die to Ash ult. So, well, he's Fury ult, but... so that's not great. Oh, so, okay, he is... So they literally just inverted the rollout, right? From Snappen, or not from Flashpoint. Flashpoint literally just inverted the rollout. I was thinking you'd have the Cassie anchor, because that seems like it would work out better to me. Maybe I'm dumb. Same thing. Like, literally just, it's, okay, we're in slightly different positions now, and Bones is dismounted, which really, oh my god, why did Fish Echo dismount? That's straight, like, this is a lost fight for Flashpoint straight up because Fuseko is not on his horse. What that means is that Rubu's gonna go in, he's gonna be like, yes guys, I hit 4 people for an assert dominance, and Fisheko's like, herder, I'm shooting an Ara. So like don't dismount. Just don't. It's not good. Until you absolutely need to, and you absolutely do not need to be shooting an Ara right now. So let's see how this works out. So Bone should be dead. Bonk. Or, wait, not bonk. So, like... Can Rubu and Fisheko play together? Could this be arranged at some point? Okay, I don't want to watch from first person because like that sucks when you're trying to understand how the game's actually going. Also, shout out to the main tanks. They've just been going point, doing their own dance in the game. It's just been happening around them. Feels main tank, man. Oh, that's a good ult. Does he live? He does not live. Okay, Rubu fudged his ult, I think. Aight. Nobody is here, sir. But they killed the reincarnated somewhere. Oh, we went for an ult in front of 3 people again. Ah, I see. What's going on?
You are not welcome here.
Oh my god, kill Woodknock. Holy, he's gonna live. Vex might have just killed Evil Eye though. Good job, Vex. And now Fish Echoes respawn. Reincarnated's like, yes, I'm not Andrew ulting in front of 7 people this time.
Enemy dub, look out!
What happened? Alright, boys, 0.25 time. So, Rubu's gonna cut across. Fisheko's also gonna cut across. I mean, this is a faster rotation. Like, if you see them not there, then yeah, it makes sense to go for dark. But stay mounted, please. I'm surprised Rubu didn't just ult here, and because like you know, no Rezo. Fisheko's following up. Yeah, that's something, right? Like, Bones should be dead. He's not fast enough. Like, look at, I don't know who this is. I thought they were still, oh, okay, I thought someone was still on mount back here. But, like, yeah, that's a mistake from him, that's punishable, and they're not punishing it. So, also, I think Vex could probably be following the offlane, considering that's how, like, your team wins. This is a good BKL. Kind of stops the... So, again, like, this is like the ROM thing, right? Like, you have the option of either turning for the thing that's, like, in your backline, or you have the option of, like, ignoring it, and they're trying to deal with it this time. Oh, T-Mac, no. Okay, but somehow he kills Reincarnated. That's an interesting play. Honestly, you can like held it there and just like stop their rotations, and then like that's fine, that's worth it. So Reincarnated trades. So now it's a 4v3. Woodknock somehow lives. Oh, Rubu. Actually a godly wall. He had to reload. No! They straight up win this fight if he doesn't have to reload there. What's his one-pointers? You could have run extra ammo over this. Oh, that makes me sad. God, that is unlucky. He probably kills Bones, too. God. Then he gets an uncotted heal? Just that. Oh my god. Now it's a really good rotation for who's the low? Or who's that? That's Evil Eye. Like pinching, very cool. And then, yeah. Reincarnated has a good flank. Like people respawning into a fight is super scary.
Enemy dub, look out!
And then they had a little bit of cap at the beginning. You might go the full zone. Doubtful. Rubu is he went for touch too early. That's the kind way of saying that. No ults for anyone. Emote on point, friends. No one emoted. Big sad. yeah, I don't know. It was just like a failure to actually like play together, which is weird. Like that's not what you expect out of a PPL team, but I guess like they haven't actually played together that much, especially with Sheka. So, all right, on to the last game. Also, if you guys are wondering where you can find these VOD IDs, you can't. They're in the PPC Discord, and there's like spec passes and stuff that I don't think I can show. So, sorry. I don't know if the Roman of Nico guy is still doing things. He has a Discord that you might be able to find. Like he does he posts like VODs of stuff on YouTube. So he's probably your best bet if like you want to watch someone's POV or a specific game or something. Anyhow, let's talk about comps. That's Soul Collector, which is like Saris has somehow become Vex's like favorite support. Which like is understandable. Honestly, Saris is fun, but I don't know how I feel about this. When you have this, like I feel like it's not necessary. Sorry, I like looking at support builds because like no one's figured out a Saris build yet. Like if you look at all the pro support Saris builds, like they're all different, and I think that's really interesting. Comps. So we're not playing triple DPS this time. That's really cool. Comp still works like the same though. Like, oh, also something that's interesting we mentioned this game or the set is that Io was banned week 1. So if you're not seeing any Io, like, oh my god, they killed Io. They actually did it. No, Io's still fine. Like she's literally the same character, except she was just banned this week because of the bug where she goes invisible sometimes. No, not where Io goes invisible, where Luna goes invisible if she's on cart. It's weird. It's not reproducible though. It just happens. I'm sure she'll be available for the next weeks. So how these comps gonna work? This is, when it's 2-2-1 against 2-2-1, it actually requires some brain power because it's not just yes. This is like how triple DPS works against 2-2-1. This is like you actually have to think about like matchups and what things do, and it's crazy. But it's a generally good idea to just see who burns point better, and in that case, the answer is I haven't been. Oh, I forgot to change the. Somebody pick second pick. Either that or blue and red team are just messed up. Anyhow, Flashpoint burns point better because they have an Anara and an OK healer, so that's cool. So it's important to know that although Flashpoint burns point better, it doesn't mean they don't want to play fast. Like, the Stappin's draft is very much alright. Rom and Tiger are gonna get in there and like we're gonna use Big Wall, and we're gonna kill things. It's gonna go really well. Which is probably the reason that Vex went Soul Collector. Probably because A, he wanted to have fun, and B, Soul Collector Saris is like dang hard to kill. So viability, Pug. Also, he was also doing this last patch. It's not like any big changes or anything. Like he's not running Mortal Reach or anything. So he was running this in PPC last time too, our last split. So like the Ruckus Andy want to be playing together because Ruckus by himself ain't gonna do too much. He's gonna do a lot. Like I don't know. Like you'd rather just have the Andy with him. It's just so much easier. And like Andy's not gonna be able to anchor super well against dive tanks, so he's not gonna be able to like actually prevent them from doing their thing. So yeah, just have like an R on point. Should get off point and help once the fight like actually starts, and have your Cassie and Saris play together. Have Ruckus and Andrew like again. If you get Dove, cool. They will create space. If you're Strix, Corvus, and maybe your Tiger are out of the fight when your tanks are in, then that's a winnable fight for your backline. So, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Snap and roll out because you definitely want the Braum like going around. but it's like, where are they gonna go? Like, I'd go keep if I was Flashpoint, just because, like, first of all, I don't want to give Strix high ground for free. I think that's bad most of the time. And then I also think it's just easier to pull off a dive from keep because you have the high ground. Like, Ruckus doesn't have to like dash up. So, like, you just start from a cloud and just cloud is like this little. It's not a call that too many people use, but I like it. So, this little platform here, this is cloud, because there's like heaven, there's hell, cloud. So Ruckus just like dashes twice, and he's diving, and Andy does the same. So it's a bit harder from the other way around. So if you're doing that, then it's like, all right, if you're snapping, how many people, like, do you want to anchor, or do you want to fully go around? How do you want to play this from snapping? Because you want to collapse on something eventually, otherwise you're just going to get outpoked. Not necessarily outpoked, but out slow played, maybe.
Game time, baby. Let's go.
They actually go church. Sure. I mean, like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. I mean, it's not huge of a difference. It depends. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how they play the Ruckus. I guess they say, alright. I mean, because if both teams meet in church, I feel like Snap and win that. Because I feel like Strix can rotate to a really good spot. And I feel like Big Shield just buys enough time to let him do that. I don't know. But they're pushing through. Atlas is making... He is making space. And... God, I wasn't looking, but based on where Fisheko is, I'm gonna guess that was Rubu and Fisheko not syncing up again. Also, like, hey, diving in church, it's not as good. Alright, so now you're down one, and it's just like, alright, what do we... Wait, hold up, did Rom die? Oh, Rom died, very cool. So now it's even. Rubu decides, I'm going to use every single one of my my defensive cooldowns to do no damage to an Atlas. I think it's fine if you sync it up with Fisheko, which he kind of sort of did, not really-ish. Maybe if he went past the Atlas, I mean, then you get set back. I don't know, I don't like going... I do not like church, necessarily. Like, Atlas is just, he's just, you know... Atlas doing Atlas things. Yo, off tanks. Off tanks exist. Look at that. Yeah, then Strix is free, that's cool. Like,
Enemy dub, look out.
you know, it's not great. Not ideal. Wait, Atlas is up there. That's pretty cool. Or just kidding, he just dropped like 3 spots. I didn't see how that kill happened, but it's kind of unlucky. They think someone got through? They think someone got through and they're giving an ult to check. Here's a dive. Cool. They killed Team Ek. I mean, I don't think Evil Eye was as synced up as he could have been, but whatever. Rubu with the I'm going to poke you Ruckus. Very cool. Joseph dies on cap because, again, space. Like, look at... Like, Reincarnated's doing a really good job. He's not doing much, right? He's just sitting on their cloud, but, like, again, it's so much map control.
Enemy dub, look out.
Alright, can Flashpoint go for a full hold? Probably not. Because you have late respawns. Like, if you had respawns now, like, sure, like, maybe, like, a few seconds earlier, then, yeah, you could, like, try to push out the ROM and, like, move your way up to keep and just, like, hold that and just, like, get a really dumb fight going. But I don't think Saris has great range for this mid, so you're probably going to see Vex playing a bit more aggro. Or not more aggro, but just, like, a bit farther up. Also, this is really interesting because, like... Vex is big spook.
Enemy dub, look out.
Yeah, so, like... There's a pretty straightforward matchup. Like, Flashpoint just put, like, 4 to 5 people in a lane, and then Snap and lost the lane and didn't do anything on the other side of the map. So if you're getting pushed super, like, you're gonna lose that because of course you are. They have like 5 people. Like, you don't win that. So what you gotta do is you gotta like you know you're losing that, so you can give it up. You can back up. You gotta hope your other lane does something. So stacking DPS there from Snappin, not good. Really good from Flashpoint to punish it. I don't know if they like knew or if they just said, "Ah, screw it, let's push out high ground." But either way, like that was really good. Ideally, from Snappin, you just have another DPS somewhere, and that doesn't happen. Then, or if it does happen, you can punish it. Like this is good. I like where Rubu is, but he gets pushed out. So now it's like, okay, where are we holding, boys? Are we holding in church? Are we holding in keep? Or we're gonna just go hold it right out in the middle and cart and have Rubu solo anchor keep. Very cool. And Pacheco's dead somewhere. Alright. So like usually you want to either like get all the way up here and make them like go here, and then you can like dive, or you can do things, or you want to hold inside church and make them go all the way around. Kind of just depends on how your comp works. If I was Flashpoint, I would want to be holding probably keep if you can get up there. You can have Andy play like over there maybe, because like he has the mobility to like escape anything if he just dashes over the hedge, and like he has ults, so like he can win any 1v1. And then just have everyone else over there, and if they hard push it, like Andy you can do things that aren't hold in main here. I wish I knew. What happened to Pacheco? We're gonna rewind this. We're gonna have horses now, but I wanna know what happened. Ah, yes, he feeds. Okay. I mean, I don't know. You might peek that. Like, yeah, don't do that. I'm curious if Vex actually dodged that, because he's not running any Veil, and like I feel like you don't have time to dodge that. So now this is risky for Flashpoint. If Cart moves up a bit and they die, they lose this. They get pushed on, right? So like, how do you want to? Dude, look at this. It's an offline playing together. Look at this. All right, we're gonna play this in slow motion because it's gonna be glorious. I kind of hate everything. That's really unlucky. Someone in a dive like that, you let your tank go first, otherwise that can happen. And then also that was just nutty from Stigma first of all. And good peel too, like that was a nice setback. That makes me sad. I don't know if Tony ult happened. If he kills Rom, that's fine, because then they have a tough time pushing it. It buys time for respawns, but he doesn't kill Rom and dies. But like that was like a good idea. And Dosip dies on cap, which is like all you can do as an arrow. You just gotta hope that like rockets can stall or something. Ah, Pacheco's dead eventually. Or just kidding, he's Andrew and he's dashed back up the high ground. I'm just kidding. Imagine losing a 1v5. Couldn't be me. So now it's like, how do you want to play this, right? Like, an R is up, so you're fine. If Pacheco did a stagger here, even fight. Like you can dive top. You can dive somewhere and like make space, because otherwise if you just take the fight in your spawn, you're gonna lose, because again, map control, they have like this area and you have like not even this, so you tend to lose those fights, because especially then like Atlas is just gonna like throw up a shield like this, and then all of a sudden their whole team is damage immune. It can just wide peek everything for free. Like what's big shield on cooldown? Oh, 5 seconds. If I were I mean, I guess if you're trying to push it quickly, if you're snapping, that's fine. Otherwise, I'd wait for a big shield. Like, honestly, it's fine if you just, like... I mean, your ROM's in, so you can't really just, like, stop peeking. But if you could, then I just, like, wait for big shield and then go in. That's unfortunate. That Vex misses that, because that was a really nice play. Rubu did not peek Vex, or Vex didn't heal Rubu. That's unfortunate. If Vex was a little to the left, or if Rubu was a little bit to the left. And good play though. Pacheco, are you good, friend? He's unlucky. Is he here? Enough. That's unlucky. Honestly though, like, Sarah's ult is like, because a lot of the times, like at a high level, you want to be like coordinating your Sarah's ults, and that requires super precise, like halfway across the map yeets. So, and those, like, you don't do that in casuals, like you don't practice that, so it's actually really difficult. Well, it's not difficult, but just no one practices it ever. Because like, when are you gonna play Sarah's, and where are you gonna like actually set that stuff up? But when you pull that off, though, it feels so good. Alright, let's go keep this time for Flashpoint, and then for snapping, let's go keep as well, because we might win keep with our ults, and you could also send like Rom around maybe, just like big shield and yeah. Okay, so the interesting thing here is that okay, Flashpoint was like Church was fine. Obviously, they think Church is fine. They're doing it again. So what's their adaptation? What do they think went wrong? So like I'm seeing the same thing. Like it's literally just the same rollout, right? Like this is deja vu. I have been in this place before, except Reincarnated is being a bit more aggressive, which I like. Like that's cool. He hasn't popped big shield, which I don't like, but same difference. Like I don't know. The Strix and the Corvus are kind like just free. You have tanks in your backline because you didn't push anywhere out. This is like the same thing as the Splitstone game. Like you play in Quarry, you have to push something out if they surround you, and then if you don't push anything, then you get surrounded and die. Hello, Bones. Somehow they didn't lose that too much, and I have a feeling it's because Snap and didn't dive together, but I don't really care enough to go back and rewatch. Or do I care? We're gonna go back and rewatch, actually, because I'm kind of curious. Okay, what happens here? Who dies on Snap, and how does they mess it up? Vex is scared? He doesn't care. He's still Collective Stairs. He doesn't care. He lost 1,000 HP? Doesn't even care. Does that hit anything? It does not. They're all like... Look at the HP bars on Flashpoint. Rom goes in. Where's Tiger? So, like, if they're doing that, if your tanks are in there, you want the rest of your team to be in there. So, like, that's the time for, like, Tiger ult. That's the time for Strix to be stealthing in. It's time for Corvus to be sort of walking up. That sort of thing. They're just kind of a disconnect there, and that's why Rom died. But they killed Rubu. They killed Reincarnated because, again, no one else is in. The tanks are like, let's go, team, lead the charge, and they didn't have any follow-up. Doseps doesn't back up. I mean, that's a lot of... I guess he was trying to cheese the point away, which is, like, fine. Really good respawn from Rubu. Also, he has a lot of mass threading. Good job on whoever aren't on mass threading one, but whatever. Good job on whoever dismounted him last time. Wait, teammate teammate Cassie for Sheko intro. So we could dive, or we could wait for the person respawning. Who was it? Oh god, it's the support. Why are you diving without your support? That hurts me a little bit. Also, the fact that he's here at all, like, why? Where's Andy? Where'd Andy disappear off to? Oh, he's respawning as well. Okay, that's why he took it. Never mind. That's less horrible then, if you're taking a 4v4. Also, he only has like 2 dashes left. I don't know where he's going. That's unfortunate. That's a nice setback. I don't know if it saved anything, but Valiant attempt. Oh my god. Oh my god. He tried to get the OT thing going? That's insane. It was at 81% too. That might have worked.
Slash that payload's tires. Get after him.
I don't know. I mean, no one really played together, but like... I don't know. Wait for respawns. Makes things easier. Unless you can like definitely kill something, just wait for respawns. This is good. This is good. You gotta kill, you have respawns. But wait, hold up. He's... I don't like that. I don't like that. Run big shield. You're playing like an actual like You're playing no scrim, or not a scrim, but like you have coordination. Big shield is an ultimate. Like yeah, deja vu when the resets and all the shields are, it's really good. But I mean, deja vu, or big shield is an ultimate. You can't make plans around an ability most of the time. Like you can't say, all right, guys, we're gonna pop an RDR and go in. But you don't have big shield. Saggers are fun. Also, I like how Vex is healing like Sigma and Bones. Our T-Mac is healing what the heck is going on? Like, this is good aggression, right? Because like Snappin's kind of recognizing, hey wait, they only have like 3 people alive right now. Let's push up and just kill those ups. Like Flashpoint just needed to wait. It's a good ult. It's also a good ult. Very good ults. I mean, everyone needs to be using ults. I don't know how I feel about this push from Rubu, because I feel like the Atlas and the Tiger should just be able to like walk forward, put up a shield, and then just like shoot everything and just like win. But that didn't happen, I guess. Because there's not a DPS with the Atlas. Ruckus making space.
Alright, they're getting hot, they're getting hot.
Wait, how did 2 people just die? Andrew gets full heal. He just loses this, I guess?
Alright,
Yeah.
they're getting hot.
My reboot dies. Man, that's... I thought... T-Mac bails. Unlucky. Vex can kill that, yeah. I mean, I don't know if he needed the ult, but... Tiger heals, I guess. Like, I like that he went for a risky play. And at this point, it's like, alright, we're committing ults to everybody. Like, Atlas ult isn't bad here. Yeah, just like banish everything and then you win. Yeah, cool. That's the game. Rollouts from Flashpoint were weird. Like, just they did the same thing. They did like, and this is it makes me worry, man. Like, that's such a basic thing. I feel like you just can't give up 90% of the map, and they did both mids, and then they didn't change anything in between, and that's spooky. Like Snappin changed thing, but it was a good adjustment. They had the Atlas play more aggro, and then they tried to pinch, and like it got scuffed. But like that was more like right idea messed up the execution, and like that's the sort of level of mistakes that you expect from these teams. They should have the right idea at this point, but I guess Flashpoint's just like they're there, they're having fun, which sucks because there's so much potential. Because we saw it. These teams are really good. Anyhow, honestly, I was expecting that set to just be both teams like dropping their spaghetti all over the floor. But Snappin like looked like they played well. Like, yeah, they won. Obviously, they're gonna look good, but it looked like they played well too. So that's spooky. Like, I think Snappin might be like a dark horse this season, but we'll see. And I think Flashpoint is gonna not come back after the split. So, I mean, maybe they will if there's still money involved. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed whatever that was. So, let me know if there's like anything you want me to do differently or anything. But I'll see you guys later.